Hello and welcome to another edition of Gourmet in the Making. If you've been watching our series on dry aged beef, you're familiar with what we call or refer to as the rind, which is the crispy dried out portion that surrounds the beef that's actually been aged for an extended period of time. In today's episode of Gourmet in the Making, we're actually going to show you how you can take that process of excessively drying the rind and use it to your benefit to create just an absolutely tremendous flavor profile. So our steaks, as you can see, very tough, very crispy, crunchy on the outside, but they're still very soft on the inside. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to create a marinade that will be primarily liquid, that will allow the moisture to be absorbed into the steak, to allow that crust to rehydrate and allow a tremendous amount of flavor to be found in that surface area that we will then cook and get a tremendous sear on as well. So we're going to start with actually 1/2 ounce of our dressing up salad dressing. It's gluten-free, chemical-free, and vegan-friendly. In this case, we're going to use dressing up original. We're going to add to that approximately 1/3 of a cup of sweet aged balsamic vinegar, a Modena, if you will. Absolutely delicious balsamic flavor. And then we're going to add to all of that Guinness Extra Stout. We prefer Extra Stout over pub draft because it gives a little bit more of a rich, savory flavor. So we're going to pour that into our measuring cup here. It's okay if it foams. That little bit of effervescence is good. It actually causes the entire mixture to blend itself. The effervescence around those dry herbs is good too. Going to let that settle for just a minute. While that's settling, we're going to take the two steaks. We're going to throw them into a Ziploc baggie. So once we've placed them into the Ziploc baggie, the head has come down on that just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and pour it right into the Ziploc baggie. Everything that we have there in the bowl, in the mixing bowl, measuring cup, has an absolutely delicious smell with the stout and the balsamic vinegar. Those herbs will continue to draw in flavor into the marinade. So what we do now is we actually bleed all of the air out of the Ziploc baggie. You're still going to have a little bit of air in there. You're going to need to bleed it a couple of times. But you can see it's got kind of a nice backpack look. We're going to leave it like that. Bleed just a little bit more air out. We're going to leave it like that. We're going to put it in the refrigerator for about 24 hours. That should be sufficient time for that nice dry crust to be fully rehydrated, become supple again, and produce an absolutely tremendous flavor profile when we throw these on the grill. So we'll show you that in TV land in just a couple of seconds. So our steaks have actually been allowed to marinate for a total of 1 week. You can see quite a bit of the moisture content has actually been absorbed back into the steaks, which is good. The flavors that will now be in the beef will be the flavors of the salad dressing, as well as the Guinness Stout, Extra Stout. So we're going to go ahead and pull these off, put them onto a plate. We're going to let them rest and come up to room temp before we throw them onto the grill. So our grill is almost up to temp. We're going to go ahead and cook those delicious steaks that you just saw. We thank you for joining us here at Go Pound Salt, and we remind you that when you do, happiness is just a lick away.